Today, the Disney clone that you see right here. We had day one in the previous video where we focused on building up the home page like this. We focused on building the login page that looks like this right here. Login. We also focused on building the detail page that looks like this as well. So right there, and we have done all this yesterday and day one. So if you're interested, we have a video down in the description below for you to go ahead and check out. But other than that, let's go ahead and continue on with what we're doing. So like I said, our goal is to be able to get to this, right? We are building a Disney clone. We have a React slick for React slider, which looks like this. We are using Firebase for authentication right here, right? We're using beautiful animations with CSS. If you scroll down right here, if you click on something to be able to get to the next page, we are using React Router DOM right here. Beautiful, right? And if we go to login, so let's go and sign out here for a second. If I click login, again, this is using Firebase authentication. Beautiful. And to make all this work, to keep the state managed, we are using Redux for state management. Coming together, it's all working so beautiful, so nicely. It is user friendly, it is mobile friendly, and so we're just going to continue on with building this. Beautiful. From the last time, what have we done? From the last time, we have our project that's basically like this right here, right? As our project, we have a few files. We have the main files. Let me go ahead and show it to you here. Detail, homepage right here, homepage, header, image slider, login, movies, and viewers, right? And all of this contribute to our application that is pretty much the way it is right now. Nothing crazy so far, because right now our goal is very simple. The number one goal I'm going to do is, you see how these movies right now are just static files, static images? We're going to be grabbing them now from the database to make sure we have them basically from the database is what I'm trying to say, right? We want to have them dynamic, right? We don't want to have them static all the time. All right. Okay. To make that happen, we're going to be using Firebase and database from there, right? On top of that, after we finish with that, part two we're going to focus on is go to the detail page. When I go to the detail page, of course, we don't want to see just static content. We want to see content that changes based on the move that I click, right? That's part two. Part three is going to be login. So we're focusing on the login, which happens to be right here. When I click on this, we should be able to log out and I should be able to log in. And honestly, that is pretty much it for today. And once we're done, we will go ahead and host our application straight on Firebase, and you'll be able to play with it and use it and just be so proud of it to put in your portfolio and so forth. All right, so our project is here. Okay, to do the whole Firebase getting movies, let's do the following. Let's go ahead and go to home.js. Okay, home.js. I will make this a little bit larger. Home.js. Home.js. On home.js, we need to go ahead and grab the movies. That's the functionality we're going to use. Now, to grab those, of course, we're going to be grabbing them from the Firebase. And right now, we have nothing with Firebase related. That means we need to install Firebase. So create a new terminal right here inside your what's it called? Your VS Code. And we'll do npm install Firebase. Done. All right. We will install that. And then we will also add the configuration for the Firebase. So let's do npm install Firebase-tools. Boom. Voila. Firebase-tools. We got those. So those two things. npm install Firebase right here. And then npm install Firebase tools. Both are needed for this to work. All right. Awesome. Clear this out. All right. Next thing, we need to create a firebase.js file because we need the configuration. Now, usually what I would do is I will go ahead and actually show you how to go to Firebase, create your project and so forth. But in our case, we're not going to do that mainly because a lot of the data, all this movie's data is already pre-populated in our database. And so we'll just give you access to be able to pre-populate your data as well, right? So it just makes it easier for us and for you at the same time. Let's create a new file here. New file, we'll do firebase.js. And very important, make sure this firebase.js is not inside any of these folders like app or components or features or anything like that. It needs to be inside the source folder, very important. Next up, as you know, down below, we have a Google Drive folder that has images and it has a few different things below it. Let me see, let me go ahead, right here. Where's that Finder folder? Ooh. Let's go to downloads here. And we had a Disney clone challenge. This was exactly the, what's it called? The folder you can download down below in the description below, okay? Download that and you have videos, images, and the next thing you have also is something called firebase.js, okay? I want you to go ahead and actually open this one up. So it's going to open this one up either with Sublime Text or whatever that you use to open it up. So I'm going to open up inside VS Code right here. This is the Firebase.js we're going to use, all right? So copy this one, Command C, go to Firebase.js and paste it in there. Done, right? And honestly, that's all you need. And again, it's inside the folder down below in the description, okay? Inside that folder, the firebase.js, okay? Download that and then paste it in, say it here. So what's going on here in this file? Few things. We are importing Firebase, part one. Next thing, we have a Firebase configuration file right there. And this basically just gives us access to the actual database. Next thing, we initialize the Firebase app right here, right? And then what we do is we need to tell Firebase what we're going to be using. Well, the first thing we're going to be using is Firebase Firestore. So Firestore is the actual database. We're going to be using Firebase authentication later on to be able to log in and log out. We're going to be using Google authentication because, like I said, Firebase can have like Yahoo authentication. There's like all these Amazon authentication, Facebook authentication. In our cases, it's just going to be Google Auth, okay? And finally, we're going to be using Firebase storage as well, right? So those three things is what we need to make sure tell our project to use. Once we get that, does everybody have that? Let me see. Does everybody see the folder or see the file? Everybody has the file on the Zoom there? Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful, awesome. All right. Next thing. Once we have that, let's go back to now home.js. All right, home.js. And here, we need to grab the movies from the database. And first is a few things. We need to use something called useEffect to be able to grab those movies. Let's go and import useEffect here. useEffect. Boom, right there. useEffect, which is right here. Now, what this is going to be used for is useEffect. It says, hey, whenever I load my component, whenever I load my page, or all that I will be doing is basically just running whatever you tell me to do, right? So for example, here, if I say useEffect, boom, and I say like this, dun, 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 dun. Okay, good. And I'm going to put nothing inside here. Check this out. If I simply just do comma and I do console log, okay, console.log, okay, hello, right? Check this out. Console.log hello. Save that. And if I refresh this, all I had to do refresh this. Inspect element on this one. Go to console. See hello. So what this is telling me is this right here is being run whenever this component, this whole component gets loaded. Right? This whole thing is being run. That's the reason why we use useEffect. Otherwise, if we don't use useEffect, it will be very messy. A lot of calls being called. We want to avoid that. All right. Next thing, since we're using Firebase database, let's go ahead and import DB from Firebase. We need to use Firebase like so. So // means go back up the folder because currently inside the components. And then we need to go back up to the source folder to access Firebase.js. All right, that's part one. All right. Since we got that, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at how do we grab the data. So we'll do db dot collection dot, well, collection of what? We have a collection called movies inside our database. And we will say something called onSnapshot. What does this mean? OnSnapshot means whenever a snapshot is kind of like a picture, right? You take a picture of whatever it is, a landscape or, yourself, who knows, right? You take a picture and it's a still picture, right? And it does not move, but it's a certain point in time. Well, what a snapshot does is it says it's almost like taking a picture of the database and then returning that picture to you, right? At that point in time that you called it, right? At the point in time that you called it. And now what happens also with it is whenever the picture changes or whenever, for example, the database changes, it will actually send a new picture to you every single time. That's the cool thing about Firebase is that's why it's called a live database. All right. OnSnapshot. All right. And we'll do like this. Snapshot, we'll call it a function. Okay. So it's going to get a snapshot. And then I will show to you what we get from it. Snapshot. Oops. Let me go and type this correctly. Snapshot. Okay, good. And, well, let's go ahead and console log what we actually get. You'll see it's a little messy. Check this out. Snapshot. Okay. Done. Okay. If I go ahead and right click this, inspect that one on this one. Console log. What do I get? Look at this. This is what I get right here. Like I said, it's really messy. But what do we have here? Here we have docs. We have empty, metadata, query, and then size, right? And the main thing we need to look into is docs. You see, look at this. You see this right here? It says an array of 16. What do you think this means? Well, this just means literally we have 16 items in our database right here. Look, right? 16 movies. But again, you don't see them fully. It's a little bit odd the way it's made, but you'll see that in a second here. But we have the 16 elements in the database and we just received them, right? Once we receive them, well, what's going to happen is let's go ahead and capture them. We'll do let temp movies here. Temp movies is equal to snapshot dot docs. Remember how we talked about the docs portion? Dot docs dot map. And that map will simply loop through every single snapshot, and then we're going to return something from it. Check this out. Right? Here's what we'll return. So for every single doc that we have, let me put this on the right hand side. For every single doc that we are going to use, we're going to grab the ID and the data from it. So return, boom, ID, doc dot ID, comma, doc dot data. Hold the phone, Naz. I understand what you're talking about. This is very confusing. What are we doing here? Let me show it to you. Console.log doc.data. All right. Console.log. And check this one out, okay? Inspect the element on it. Boom. Inspect the element on this. Go to console again. Look at this. You see, every single doc.data is what? Is the object. Look at this right here. Boom. You've got the background image, the card image, description, subtitle, title. These are all movies stored in our database. Right? And that's exactly what we are doing here. And so we're capturing that by using doc.data, we're capturing that portion, but also separately, in order to capture the unique ID so we can later on use it for the detail page, we're capturing inside doc.id as well, right? And this sense simply means basically, let's go ahead and unpack this object and put this whole doc.data object inside this new object that we created, which is simply just an object with the brackets, right? And then we'll return that back to the temp movies. So if we're doing this right here, let's go ahead and stop console log here. I will do console.log temp movies. Okay, save that. All right, boom, right there. Look, temp movies is exactly what we now need. We have the ID of the actual movie. The ID is used for identification inside the database. We have the description, the card image, the background image, pretty much everything we need for the detail page and also for this page as well. And honestly, that is it. That is it, my friends, right? But of course, we're not done, right? We have these movies and that's great, right? How do we go ahead and show them now on here? How do we do that? Well, this is now where Redux comes in. And this is the interesting portion, okay? And I want you to pay attention to this really quickly here. Redux is basically what's going to manage all the data. So if you imagine this, right? If you imagine the fact that if you have a rectangle here, and if you imagine that this right here is state. Let me go ahead and make this worse. This right here is state, okay? This is called state. And state is basically a database. DB for your app. But internal app, basically for your, it's basically DB for database inside Chrome, right? And inside state, we have what? We have things like, we have different values. Maybe we have movies inside the state. Oops, not here. Maybe we have movies. Maybe we have, user. Maybe we have, I don't know, some kind of other list maybe, right? All of that is actually being saved. So for example, here I'm gonna say movies. Maybe for example, we have user, right? The application state sees all that and manages all that, right? And because we save it in the global state, in the application state, we can access it everywhere that we need. That is the important part here. This is why Redux is so useful. Because otherwise, if we don't do that, then we have to pass down data from movies down to movies here, and you're passing down data every single time, and that's a lot, right? That is not very good. That's not very useful. And that's why Redux is so important. Okay, now at this point, since we do have Redux, let's go ahead and take a look at what do we create with it. Well, if you look at Firebase, and I'm sorry, if you look at Redux, Redux has a few things. When we did the Redux toolkit, when we used the template Redux template right here, you see it created a temporary one called counter. Boom. Let me go remove some of that for me. Counter right here. And if I click into it, it has something called counter slice. And we have the initial state here and so forth. We're going to mock this up and I want to show you exactly how it works. Let's create a new file here, a new folder actually. We'll call it movie. Okay, movie. Oh, actually not inside here, but inside the features. So new folder inside the features, my bad. We'll call it movie. Boom. Not inside the counter. Remove this one, delete this one. I don't want that. Boom. Okay, counter, movie. Inside here, create a new file called movie slice. And I know you might be wondering, what is movie slice? Why is it called a slice? I'll explain a little bit why. All right. And inside movie slice, a few things we need to do is we need to import create slice. Create slice. There we go. From Redux toolkit. So from at Redux, right? JS /toolkit. Done. All right. So create slice from Redux /toolkit. And honestly, that's it. And so usually what we have with Redux is a few things. We always start out with initial state. Like when I say state is what do we have at first, what do we have in our data in our Chrome database or in our application database? Well, we always start out with nothing. So we say const initial state is equal to, boom, initial state is equal to, and we're going to give a movies key. No, right, it's nothing, right? We start out with nothing initially. Okay. Once we have that, we're actually going to create a slice for the movie. So what does this mean? So let me take a look at this. Movie slice is equal to create slice. And you're like, holy shit, this is so much. I don't get it. This is complicated as heck. All right, don't worry. I'll explain this. Let's name this slice here. I'm going to name this slice called movie. So name, I'm going to name it movie. Boom, comma. And I'm going to pass it the initial state that's going to be loaded with. Initial state, boom, comma. And then I'm going to give it a reducer. Now, what is a reducer? Check this out. Okay. Well, very simple. Redux is made of a few things. Actions, reducers, users, and state. Right? Actions, reducers, and state. There's also something called sagas, but we don't really care about that too much here. That was previous Redux. Okay? Action, reducer, state. An action is basically the action that you want to do. So for example, right, if you want to, I don't know, create a movie, if you want to set the new movie, if you want to delete a movie, if you want to log a user out, if you want to log a user in, this is called the action. This is called actions. Okay? You want to log them in, you want to log them out, you want to sign them in, you want to save the data. It's called actions, right? Now reducers are basically is what takes an action and actually changes the state. So kind of goes like this. Let me show you. Ooh, actions. It kind of goes like this. Actions call reducers change the state and so forth. That's honestly what happens, right? And honestly, it's nothing more complicated than that, right? One way I can show it to you is really cool like this. On the right hand side, you can see here that this right here is an action. It's called a dispatch. So we usually dispatch an action. It's like you dispatching your driver, right? You dispatch an action. It goes to see the action right here. There's a type deposit. It goes to the store. The reducer right here changes the state to $10. See? So again, we click on something. Dispatch is an action. Oh, let me go ahead. Right? Dispatch is an action. Boom, boom. Reducer changes the data, the state. Now it's $10. That's honestly it. This is the whole thing. Dispatch, right? Reducer changes the data in the state, and that is pretty much it. And we change it in the UI. And that's it. The coolest part about this is because whenever I change the state here, right? Basically, the whole app knows about it. The whole app, right? So let's say, for example, I have a home page that has some data. Right? And the reducer said, hey, the movie's changed, right? So we uploaded new movies or whatever it might be. What will happen is every single component will get notified about that. And so now you can make the changes really fast and really quickly, and you don't have to listen on everything. That's what makes it so powerful. Okay? All right, continuing on. So does that make sense? Is this a better description of kind of what Redux is? This is a Redux in a nutshell. Does that make sense? Raise your hand. Is that a little bit better to understand? Yeah, a lot better? Okay, good. I know it's a little bit hard. This one is usually a little bit hard to understand, but all you have to know is we have actions that they're basically what you want to do. So kind of what you want to do. Let's say I want to walk. So I'm walking, and then maybe I want to, for example, buy something, or I want to buy something. Then the reducer is what allows me to do that, okay? All right, so we have initial state. Let's create those reducers. Boom. Let's create those reducers. All right. All right. We're going to create a reducer called set movies. Movies. And what this will do is we'll take a parameter called state. So this is the current state, comma, action. Right? Comma, action. And this is a function right here pretty much. Right? And what's going to happen is this is where we change the state. So in the set movies function, we're going to pass in new movies that we get from the database. It's as simple as that. So state that movies is equal to action.payload. Action.payload, all it is that's the actual parameter that we pass into the set movies function. You'll see that later on. That's what payload carries. So if I pass in an array into set movies, I will get it here. It's an action.payload. That's what will happen. Next up, in order to actually use the movie slice, we have to export the actions. Because remember, we dispatch actions, right? So I'm going to say export const, right here, const, and I'm going to say here set movies, right, is equal to movie slice dot actions. Boom, there, right? So this is the action that we're going to export. Next thing is we need to now export the actual movie state itself, because remember, how do we use a component to access our movie state? Well, very simply, we have to export it. So export, and the gist of it is we usually like to say something like, for example, select movies, right? That's kind of like the tradition, not tradition, but that's the way you want to do it. Select something. So what are you selecting from the state? Is it movies? Maybe there was something else here, for example, like, I don't know, horror movies, right? Movies in here, right? Well, you would do select horror movies inside here, whatever it might be, right? That's it. Okay. So select movies is equal to, here, we'll take the state, and we'll say it's state, all it is state, state dot what state? Well, the movie state, right? Movie state, this is the reducer, right? State dot movie dot movies. Done. Donezo. Okay. This will give us back the movies. Okay. Next. Okay. We're going to export the actual slice itself. So export the actual reducer. Export default. So by default, we're going to export the reducer, movie slice dot reducer, right? The reason why we do that is because we need to tell the store, we call the store, the whole store, that we have this right here, reducer. Save that. Awesome. Sweet. Let's now go back to our app, go to store.js, and we need to now import that store actually, right? We need to import that store or import that reducer. And we can do that very simply just by simply going, okay, let's do it like this. Opa. So import, we'll say movie reducer, right? Movie reducer from the features dash movie slice. Okay. And then instead of this counters, because which came originally, we just say movie is equal to the movie reducer. And all you're telling the application is that we have this reducer at our disposal. That's it. That is all you are saying, my friends. All right, that's great. Let's actually see if this works. I'm going to save this. Gonna save this. Refresh it. All right, so nothing's broken so far, which is good. Nothing's broken so far. The main thing is gonna happen is when we actually use the movie reducer, which we will do inside the home.js. Basically, whenever we are getting movies, this is where we'll be able to set the movies for the whole state, because then it can be accessed everywhere inside our application, right? So inside our homepage, let's say we have a homepage here, right? That's the homepage. And then we have, for example, the movies component, right? Two different components. We have movies component and a home component. So let me say here, this is, for example, the home component. This is the movies component, right? Movies component. Well, they both share the same store, right? Which contains movies, right? So what happens is that inside the home functionality, okay, inside the home functionality, all I do is I set new movies, right? Using the reducer, and then because of that, I can actually get movies inside the movies component. That's it. That's all that happens, all right? Boom. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, to use the reducer, we need to use something called dispatch. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll say import, right? And we'll say use dispatch. There, use dispatch. Okay, from Redux, the React-Redux. All right, and then we will import the set movies action. So import. Right there, set movies, okay, from, what is it, features, dash what, movie, dash what, movie slice, right? but there was a movie dash movie slice right there. Beautiful. Okay, we got the action, which is set movies. We've got the use dispatch, which we're going to use to dispatch that action. So dispatch is like basically calling it. It's like, hey, do this action. That's what dispatch is used for. All right. And then honestly, that is pretty much it. We've got dispatch. We've got that. All right. To use dispatch, we need to say, let's say const dispatch is equal to use dispatch. Oops, not that one. Dispatch. Let's go. Okay, dispatch. Good. We got that. Now, so let's think about this, right? Once I get my movies inside, from the database, what do I need to do? Well, it's very simple. At this point now, I need to dispatch an action, right? Called set movies to set the movies for the whole store, for the whole database. That's what we need to do. Does that make sense? Anybody have a question? Does that make sense? Yes. We need to dispatch an action saying, hey, you know what? We got these movies from the database. Let's go ahead and then store them inside the whole state, the global state. Okay. This is where we'll do like this. We'll say dispatch, right? Dispatch, and we'll say set movies, right? And this will have temp movies inside here. Temp movies. Again, temp movies. Okay. And let's go and check out, make sure nothing's broken. Let me see. Does anything break? Let's right click on inspect element. Anything break? Oop, I forgot to share here. So here's what we did. We did dispatch. We did dispatch right here. Okay. And then we did dispatch set movies right here. Okay. That's what we just did. And we imported set movies and used dispatch. Beautiful. All right. So if we go to console here, no bad errors, which is good. So this is a good sign. Nothing's going haywire, which is a good sign. All right. But of course, we still don't know how is this working. Well, let's actually now use the Redux in terms of actual using the state. Remember how I said that we can use the same state between the movies component and the home component? Well, go to movies. Okay. Go to movies. And let's use select movies. So we're going to say import select movies. That will get us the movies that we stored in the database. Select movies from what? Well, features slash what? Movie slice, right? Movie slice. Again, where is this coming from? Go to movie slice here. Movie slice. Boom. Look at this. See? Select movies. Select movies, all that's doing is getting us the movie's state. That's it. That's all it is doing. That's pretty much it, right? Remove this to here. That's all it is doing. So let's now go back to, where was I at? I was at movies component. Boom. All right. That's good. Next up is we need to use that selector. We need to use a use selector. So import. I know it's a little complicated, guys. There's so much to it, right? But once you know it for the first time, or once you kind of realize how it works, it's not that bad. Oh, come on. Use selector from, again, React-Redux. Beautiful. Okay. This Redux. Save that. There we go. Use selector. And let's now grab those movies. Okay. Boom. We'll say const movies. This is where we're going to get the movies. So const movies is equal to use selector, the one we just imported from here, React Redux. Okay. And the selector will be select movies. That's the one we need to use. Select movies. Okay. And let's check this out. I'm going to console the log here. So the log right there. I'm saying this is movies. Right, comma, I'm gonna say move just so you guys can see it, okay? Oh, no, not that. Boom. All right, save that. Inspect element. Console. Oh, look at that. This is movies. Array 16. We have the moves. You see how it traveled between the global state? We have the global state, right? So what did we do here? We went down to the home state, home component. Right? Inside the home component, we grabbed here So the home component, we grab the data right here. Okay, we grab the data from the database. We dispatched an action. We used Redux to save the movies inside basically the store, right? The React store, right? It's kind of like a store where you buy things, right? You can buy things, you can put things in there, you can buy things from there, right? We put the movies to the store, right? Once we put that there, if we now go back to movies component, right? We just now grab from the store. We grab it from that store. That is it that's happening here. What do you guys think about that? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Kind of? Iffy? Yes or no? Raise your hand if it kind of makes sense. Right? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. I know. It's a little bit iffy. To fully understand Redux, it takes a few days. Sometimes it takes a week to fully understand it. Okay, but we have the movies, which is great. All right. We have those. Once we get those, of course, we need to replace these static images now, right? Now, how do we do that? Well, that's pretty simple. We can do that by doing a wrap, basically a loop through them. So we'll do the following. Let's see this. So we'll do movies. So we'll check if the movies exist, right? And then if the movies exist, we'll say like this. Movies and we'll say this. Movies.map. Check this out. Movies.map. Okay. And this will take in a movie. Okay. Oh, actually, no, not like that. Taking a movie, and it will actually, no, come on, nuts. There we go. Thank you. All right. And the wrap is actually the wrap, which is currently directly, the wrap is what? The wrap is this, right? That's the whole thing, right? Instead of doing it here, we'll put it inside here. Boom. Bum. Okay. Bum. Right? There you go. Okay. Right. So what's going on here? This functionality says, hey, if movies exist, then you can go ahead and proceed with doing something about it, right? But if movies is null, because in the beginning when the page loads, the movies is null, right? We haven't gotten it from the database yet. Once we did get it from the database, we simply just loop through it right here. That's it. All right. And as we loop through it, we use a map function to loop through it, get the movie. And let's now actually get the movie data, right? So we'll say the following. The source image, remember how we console log the source image? Let's go ahead and remove this portion. Don't need this. Instead, it will be what? Movie dot what? Card image. Okay, let me go ahead and just, oh, do you see what just happened right here? Guys, look at that.
Oh my God.
Look at that. Just like that. It just worked, right? See, right? We looped the moves. Can you hear me, Jesse?
That's amazing. Yeah, I can hear you.
Beautiful.
Whoa.
Beautiful, right? So it's just all working the way it should be. Let me make sure that I want to give it to you. There we go. Awesome. Can you hear me, Jesse? Okay, good. You can hear me. Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
And what did we just do here? Like I said, we grabbed the moves from here and then go ahead and console.log movies. Okay. Like right click this an aspect element, right? This give me what? Oh no, console. Ooh, something happened. Each child. Okay, we'll take care of this in a second. But here are the movies, right? We have the ID, we have the subtitle, right? And what we use from the movie is we use the movie.card image, right? So if you look at it here, the card image. So that's what we used. That's what we said. Card image right here. Card image. You see? Choo. That's exactly what we need to use right there. All right. And honestly, that's pretty much it. All right. But of course, we're not done yet. So a few things I want to fix together here. It says here, you see how there's an error that says here, well, each child in a list should have a unique key prop. What does that mean? Well, Redux underneath the hood tracks all of these components, right? If there's any changes that happen to them, but it tracks them through a key, like a unique key. And to give a unique key, we need to do something like this. So we'll say key is equal to, and we need to give a unique key. And what's the most unique thing that we have about a movie? What is it? Put it in the chat. What is the most unique thing that we have about a movie? Individual movie object. It's the ID. That's correct. So we'll say to get the ID, Well, actually, we'll grab the index here. I mean, technically, we could do movie.id. So we'll say movie here, movie.id. That's it. So save that. Boom. Let's see, inspect element. And let's take a look if that error appears still. Let me see, console. Okay, that's the old error. So if I refresh this, there you go, no error, you see? No more errors. Now it's all working perfectly the way it should. All right, so we have done that portion. We've grabbed the movies from the database. They're in our possession. We have it. All right, only thing is left at this point is when I click on them, I should be able to go to a detailed page so I can see the eventual movie object, basically. That's the whole goal about this, right? Right there. And of course, let's go ahead and remove all these Simpsons ones because it just looks like our Disney clone is full of Simpsons, which is not the case. So let's go and do this. So wrap, let's remove all these Simpsons. Don't need that. Bye-bye. That's funny. All right, save that. Oh, what just happened? I just removed. Oh, no, it's right here. There you go. All right, save that. Okay, good, good, good. No more Simpsons, thank God. I mean, nothing against Simpsons. I love Simpsons, guys, okay? Nothing against Simpsons, guys. All right, next up. What do we have is, let's go ahead and add our code here. So add grab movies from DB. We'll put that into our GitHub. Save. Beautiful. All right. All right. Number 2 that we're going to work on is let's work on the detail page. So we need to create a link here. When I click on this specific thing, I should be able to go to the detail page of the specific image, of what I clicked on. So the specific, right, movie. Won't be that hard. We will use React router down for that as well. And the way we do it is something called a link. So we'll say link here. So import link. We've used React router down previously, but now we're going to use the link portion of it. Link right here. Okay. From what? React dash router dash DOM. The DOM. Dash DOM, okay? And really what a link is, basically it surrounds the object with an A tag. Honestly, that's all it does. We can do that here. So I will say inside the wrap, I will say, let's link it. Bum, bum, bum. We'll do link like so. Boom. Put the image inside the link, of course. Okay. Save that. Put it like this. Comprendo, all bueno. Okay, comprendo, all bueno. Okay, and link to what? Specifically, this is where we need to specify we'll link it to what. Well, how do you think we're going to link it? Well, we have the detail page. Let me go to the app.js, right? Inside here we have a detail page. But what if we passed in a detail slash ID? A lot of times we will do detail slash and we'll do give an ID like this. Oh, come on, Rocket. I don't need you right now. Right? Slash ID. And this ID is going to be the parameter that we pass in into our detail component. All right. Let's go back to movie. Yes, movies. Okay. And we'll say link and link to, and we'll give it the link. So here's the link, right? So let's think about this, right? We'll say it's detail. So it's slash detail, right? Right? Detail. Slash what? The ID of the movie. So right here, we're going to use template literals, then movie.id. Boom. Right there. So all it will tell us is it will link us to the detail and then the individual movie ID, right? So we're going to loop through every single movie and get the ID from the movie and then put it inside the link towards the detail page. And honestly, that's it. That's it. We're done with that portion. It's as simple as that. Let's go and right click this. I want to show it to you guys. Right click on it. Inspect element. Look at this. You see this href tag right here? Look at this. You see this? No, this one here. Right there. Detail page. And this 30AY is an individual link to the movie. If I go to a different movie, the link will be different because, of course, the ID is different, right? So this is 530AY. This is 5N. And honestly, that's pretty much it. That's all we got to do. That's it. Comprendo? That's it. Right? So if I go back to here, we have our link right there. Beautiful. Okay, save that. Okay, save that. All right, we have that. All right, so now if we click on it, it should technically take us to the detail page. Okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready? I hope you are. Let's go. So click on it. Oh, let's go. Look at that. It took us directly to the detail page, but of course it's not the correct image still, right? So like it's not the correct one, so it's just the same one. But the reason why that's the case is because if we now go to the detail page, what? Right? Of course it's all static content, right? But look at this. It's starting to come together really nicely. As you click on individual movie right there, it takes you to the page that you want us to take it to. And honestly, that's it. That's all we need to know specifically. Look at that. That's so good. Guys, what do you guys think so far? Give me a thumbs up in the comments below if you guys are liking what you're seeing so far. Give me a thumbs up. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. All right. Now let's focus on the detail page right here. Okay. A few things. Since we're passing the ID, you see how here we have the ID. That's the ID. Okay. All right. We need to capture that ID because we need to grab all the data about the specific movie. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to say like this. Okay. We're going to use parameters from React.DOM. So import. 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 Use params. Use params. From. All right. From what? React-router-DOM. Save it. All right. Next one, const, and we'll grab the ID. This is the smart thing about React Router DOM. It knows this kind of stuff because we inside the app.js we told it that what's going to happen after the detail link is the ID. It will save it actually in the parameter. That's the cool part. Let's go back to the detail, and we'll say use params. Use params right there. And we'll grab the ID from it. So now if I go ahead and do console.log ID, it should technically, that's it. Technically ID. Let's go ahead and inspect the element on this one. Okay. Inspect the element on this one. Let's go ahead and go to console. Where is it? Prop type. The prop2 is marked is required in link, but its value is undefined. Oh, that's different. Okay, there's the ID right here. That's all we gotta do. See, we grabbed the ID. That's it. All right, save it. Beautiful. Okay, next up, we need to again grab the data for this specific movie, right? And we're going to use effect. So let's go ahead and go to React. We'll say use effect here. Use effect. Okay, again. So let's do use effect because we need to grab the data, individual data, right? Right there. And this needs to happen whenever we load the component, the detail component specifically. Okay. This empty bracket means call this functionality whenever you load the component. I just want you to make sure you understand that. Next thing inside here, we need to grab the movie info from database right there. To do that, let's import DB from Firebase. Import DB from, okay, Firebase. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and to grab the movies database, we'll say db.collection. Okay, and with the collection we'll use is called movies, right? That's coming from the database directly. Okay, beautiful. We'll give it the specific doc we need to use. So doc, and the ID. That's it. Doc ID, right? This is directly going to come directly from here, right? It's kind of like telling you, hey, grab me the movie with this specific ID. Doc ID, .get, right there. Then. So once we get it, we're going to grab it and then we're going to use it now. Right? The doc is going to be inside the functionality here. And what we need to do is we need to check if this doc exists. So we'll say if doc dot exists, meaning it found the specific document or the specific entry with that ID, we're going to use it now. So if that exists, we'll say what? Well, we need to save the movie data. Save the movie data. But how? Guys, do you think we should save this inside? Do you think we should save it inside the Redux? Or do you think we should save it actually inside the state? What do you guys think? Redux or state? If you think it's going to be Redux, raise your hand here. Okay? If you think it's going to be state, raise your hand now. What do you guys think? Or give me a thumbs up. It's actually going to be in state. Here's why. Because this changes for every single, right, page. This changes, right? We're not going to reuse the movie data anywhere else besides on this page. So we don't need to save inside, the actual Redux. Instead, we're going to use state. Okay, to use that, we need to do use state. Use state right there. Okay, we're going to grab it. So we'll say, what is it? What are we going to do? Do const right there. Const movie, sub movie. That's how we go ahead, and then we'll say equal use state. Okay, so use state is basically like Redux, but for individual components. Okay, for individual small components. If Redux is for the whole app, okay, and it's shared amongst all the components, use state is basically for individual component. So it's on a smaller scale. Okay, and it was made for a few different reasons. It just makes things easier sometimes. Okay. And what we get here, this is the movie that we will use. And if we want to change the movie, we use set movie. So in our case, since we get the movie, we'll do set movie, right? I will do doc.data. That's it. Save that. All right. Okay. And otherwise, however, if it does not exist, for example, let's just say that, I don't know, the movie does not exist. We're going to basically redirect to homepage. For some reason, let's just say it does not work out, right? Well, in our case, let's go and check out what we do. So I will say here, console.log, movie is what? Movie right here. Okay, save that. All right, check this out. Inspect them on this one. Let's go and do console. Oh, movie is object right there. Look at that. Boom, right there. So this ID, right? This ID gave us a specific object we need right there. This is the object we need. Holy moly. That's so cool, right? We got grab that. Oh, that's not bueno. Okay, I don't know what happened there. So that's it. Once we have the movie, right? Because again, we use set movie to save it inside the movie object right here. Once we have that, now we need to use the specific data, right? And now it's very simple. Inside here, instead of doing a static image, we replace that with a normal image. So image source, we'll say movie dot, not like this. There. Movie dot what? Background image. But background image. Oh, this. Save it. Oh, look at that. This is the exact movie that we clicked on, guys. The exact movie we clicked on is that background image, right? Next one, image title. We'll do movie. Right there. Bum. Right? Right? We'll say what? Movie dot title image. Save that. Boom. Look at that, guys. Now it's tangled. You see how it's doing? All right, next up. We need to change now this specific portion, right? This specific portion. So what is this going to be? Movie dot what? Dot subtitle. Grab it. Movie dot subtitle. Boom, right there. Okay. Oh, wait. I didn't spell it right. Subtitle, which is going to be this one right here. Subtitle. Okay. Boom, right there. Look. Fantasy animation. And finally, the last one is going to be movie description. So we'll say here. Movie. Right there. Movie. What? Description. Done. That is it, guys. That's it. Our detail page is now finished. That's it. Look at how beautiful it looks. You see the steps we took. We grabbed the ID. Once we grab the ID, we grab from the database, right? Like I said. So let me see. Let's think about this. Here, 2. We grabbed. So here. Grab ID. Right? Then grab from DB, right? And populate data or populate UI. That's it. That's all we did. We grabbed the ID from the top page. We used that to grab the data from database, and then we populated the UI. That's all we did inside here. Honestly, that's it. Beautiful. That is all good. Guys, are you still with me, guys? How cool is this? You guys still with me? That's pretty awesome, huh? You still with me? Yes. Beautiful. All right. Next one. Let's go and take a look at how this actually works. So let's go back to our homepage. I actually want to link the homepage to it. I should go back home because I'm getting tired of typing home. Like the Incredibles. Ooh, can I have the background image of undefined? Let me go back to here. Let's try this here again. Ooh, interesting. Let's go to here. Ooh. I think I know this is happening actually. I know what's going on. Okay, I got it. So here's what needs to happen here. In order for this to fully work, right? Again, this use effect happens maybe a little bit later on, of course, right? So basically, initially we don't actually have this data at first, right? This happens later on. This is why we need to do a little bit differently. And in the detail page, we need to grab it when the ID changes. So check this out. Now we have the ID. Let's think about it like this. Okay, I'm gonna save that. Background movie, that background image. So here's a lot of times what I'll do. For example, the reason why it's yelling at me is because the fact that we don't have the movie at our disposal right now, right? We're trying to grab the movie background image, but whenever we grab it from the database, we're not actually getting it. We're getting it a few seconds later. That's kind of the issue here, right? So let me go ahead and look at this here for a second. Right there. So we're still grabbing these. That's no problem, right? I think the problem becomes when we go ahead and go to specific movie. So I'm going to click at this again. That's okay. All right. To fix that, here's what I usually do. It's a very simple fix. I usually do it like this. I say if movie exists, like this. If movie, then we say no, end. Right there. If movie exists, only then do we get all this data. Look at this. Oh, come on, Naz. Holy moly, Naz. Holy macaroni. Okay, my next. Only if the movie exists do we actually show it in the database. Or show it on the front end. Right there. We'll do it like this. Papa. Don't worry, guys. It's gonna be fixed. Okay, save that. Oh, come on. Give me a break. Okay, save that. Must be wrapped in enclosing tag. You want a JSX? I did want a JSX fragment. Yes, I did. But I think I know why. Okay, here. Let's do it like this. And then this will be the closing tag right here. There we go. Fixed. There you go. And I'll show you exactly why this happened and what's going on and why we need to do this. Check this out. Okay, good. Save that. Okay, let's look at one. Oh, look at that. Boom. Right there. Look at that. Boom. 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 Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. We fixed it, guys. We fixed this issue. Look at that. That's awesome. Boom. Boom. You see? We fixed the issue. So what happened here, guys? Very simple, right? Well, initially we got this errors because we tried to grab the background image for a movie that does not exist. It's as simple as that, right? Does not exist because use effect, it takes us a few seconds to actually grab the data from a database, right? So it takes us a few seconds, maybe like 5 seconds. But to go to the actual page, it takes us literally a millisecond, right? And so when we actually are executing this, while this is trying to grab the data right here, right? This is already being preloaded. And is trying to do movie the background image, which is not right because we don't have it yet, unfortunately. We don't have it. So we're not going to do, this will give us an error. But what we did here is very simple. We said, if the movie object exists, basically, if it's this right here is not null, right? If the movie object exists, right? Then we will go ahead and execute and actually put all this JSX in place, right? And then we got all of these errors because why? Because we need to put this into, this is called like an empty tag, an empty tag. I forgot what it's called, anonymous tag. So it's not actually a div, but it's kind of like a div, right? When you put it inside here, you have to wrap it inside of one container and then anything else can go inside it. It's a little bit confusing on React side, but it's just some things like that you have to get used to, unfortunately, with React. So, yeah, I know. Unfortunately, that's just how the case it is, you know? But with it, look, we set the movies, we save the data, we got it. If I go back to the homepage, boom, right there. Oh, so good. Oh, so good. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Guys, how cool is this? You guys still with me? Yes or no? Let's go. Yes, you guys, you are beautiful as always. Love you all very much. Now, was that understandable? Did you guys understand why we had all these issues? Did you guys get that? Yes? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up for yes. Give me a thumbs up for no. Okay. All right. And the comments as well, guys, on YouTube as well, too. All right. All right. So we got that portion. That's working now all fine. No problem whatsoever. Let's now focus on the last part of our application, which is going to be the login section. This might be a little bit harder, but I'm sure we'll be able to figure it out, okay? This is where now we have to use Redux yet again, okay? We need to create a user kind of state management to be able to manage the user state and see if the user exists, right? If the user exists, we do this. If it does not exist, we do that, right? That's it. Okay, let's go ahead and create a movie slice. Let's go ahead and create a user slice, actually. So new folder inside features, new folder. Let's call it user. Done. All right, inside here, we'll go ahead and do, my bad. We'll do user slice. So new file, user slice.js. Done. Okay. Same thing here. Let's go ahead and import Redux, just how we did it inside the movie slice. And by the way, just a quick note, the reason why it's called a slice is it's kind of like a slice of a pizza, right? If we're creating all these reducer functionalities, which are just slices of the big thing. That's why it's called a slice. Yeah, nothing complicated there. Import slice. Nice. Then create initial state. So const initial state. Initial state. All right. And there are 3 things we're going to save. First one's going to be name. Right? Okay. Initial is going to be empty. And then we're going to save email. Right? Also nothing. And then we're going to save photo. Right? That's the photo of the person. 3 things. Once we got that, let's go ahead and create a slice. So we'll say const user slice is equal to create slice. Create slicer. Create slice. Okay. All right. Inside the create slice, give it some values like name. In our case, it can be user. Cool. And then we will go ahead and give it the initial state. Right. So our initial state is basically nothing, nada. Okay. Kapusta, brand Done. Then we have reducers. This is where we will get our reducers, and a few things we need to do on here inside the reducers. Few reducers. The first one we need to create is called set user. So set user login. So we'll call it set user login, and this will of course take state, comma what, action, right? There we go. The second one is going to be which one? Which is going to be set sign out. So set sign out. Because again, when we sign out, we want to be able to clear the state, correct? So we want to be able to clear everything here. So let's say sign out. Right there. We'll say state. Okay. No action we're going to pass into here because nothing really happens. And when we set sign out, what happens? What do you think? In the comments below, what happens when we set sign out? It's very simple. We say state dot name is equal to basically nothing again, or null. Okay. We say state dot email is equal to null as well. Oh, null. Boom. And then we say state dot photo dot what? Photo is equal to what? Null too, right? Beautiful. Now when we log in, of course, let's go and finish this one up. Again, state dot name is equal to what? We're gonna pass in some kind of action. We'll say action dot payload dot name, right there. All right, and then same thing's gonna happen with these other ones right here. So there, bum. In this case, email, and then we'll say payload dot email, right? And then state dot photo, payload dot photo. All right. Oh, no, that's not the one. Save that. Beautiful. Okay. So, few things. Again, set user login to be able to log the user in. We save the user data. Okay. Then we set user sign out. So we should be able to sign the user out so that we don't have that data anymore. And basically we can't show that application anymore. That's it. All right. Give me 1 second. I need to go ahead and take a breath. So good. So good. Okay. After we've done that, we need to grab all the actions, right? So we'll say here what? I'm going to do it like this so it's a little bit cleaner. Okay. So again, we need to export the actions because actions will allow us to dispatch them, right? So we'll do what? Set user login and then set sign out. So here we'll say right there. Oh, no, that's not what I want. Come on, Naz. Nope. Set user login, comma, set sign out is equal to what? Is equal to user slice dot what? Dot actions. Right there. Beautiful. Actions. Not action what? But actions. Right there. Actions. Make sure it's plural. All right. After that, okay, we will go ahead and bring back the specific data. So we'll say export, right? Const, and then this will be select what? Select username. I'll say username is equal to what? State. State dot user dot what? Dot name, right? Same thing's gonna happen with these other ones. But in our case, we're going to do select user what? User, what do you think, guys? Here, user email here, right? Because we need to select the email, and we're going to grab the email from here, boom, and select user what? Do a photo right there, and that's going to grab the user photo. Done. All right. And then at this point, all we need to do is export the reducer. So we'll say export. Export default. So by default, we export the reducer. Default user slice dot reducer. Donezo. Okay. All right. And that's it. We've created our React Redux slice for just the user, okay? Now, let's tell the store that we have them. So let's go to store.js. Let's import it. Let's go ahead and remove this counter reducer because it's not useful at all. There we go. Move this counter reducer unnecessary fully. And let's do import user reducer from the features dash what user dash what user slice. Done. Okay, and the same thing is gonna happen here. So we'll say comma, and then we'll give it a comma. We'll say user here, user slice. Done. All right. So we were able to pass in all of that data. And now if we look at it here, really no big error that's going on here. We're pretty much all good on that aspect. Oh, that's not what I want. View inspect element. Let's see. Yeah, nothing crazy in terms of like actual errors that are going on here. Nope, we're good. Beautiful. That makes me so happy. Okay. And of course, if I go to here, it should be all good as well. Okay, so sweet. So now, in order to fully make this work, we need to go, let's think about how this works, right? We need to create a login button if we're not logged in, right? So let's think about this. This will happen inside the header because remember, if I go back to our app, which is this app right here, right? Let's go sign out. You see the header changes, right? We have a login button right here, right? This right here. And we need to be able to handle that. So let's create the login button. Boom, let's create the login button. And that's going to happen inside the header.js. Boom, right there. Okay. All right, let's see. So what's going to happen? We need to be able to grab the username, the email, photo, and see if it exists. If the user does not exist, we show the login button. However, if it does exist, we don't show the login button, and instead we show the user circle. Does that make sense? Comprende? All good? Yes. Comprende. Good. All right. All right, let's make that happen in that case. By the way, let me see here. All right, beautiful. Wow, so many comments are going. Holy moly, you guys. Insane. All right, beautiful. All right, so login. Let's go ahead and create the login button in that case. But first, we need to, of course, import the select username, all this kind of stuff. So we can do that by doing like this. Import. Right here, import select user name, comma, select user what? User photo, comma what? Select user photo. Do we need anything else? Username and user photo. We don't need their email. That's pretty much it. Okay. From what? No, that's not what I want. From the actual user slice. So from the features, comma, or slash user slice. Okay, save that. Next thing, of course, we need to go ahead and import the whole use selector thing. So let's go ahead and do import what? Use selector. Oh, that's not what I want. No, use selector. From what? From, oh my, I forgot to show it to you guys. My bad on YouTube. How long was I on here? I'm very curious. Well, here's what we did, guys. Like I said, I went to here. All I did is I imported this right here. Select username, select user photo. Okay, that's all I pretty much did on YouTube, just so you guys know. Okay, and then on the user slice, we did this whole user slice. Hopefully, you guys seen this. I don't remember when did I put it on here. Hopefully, you guys seen that one. That's the one we did create. Okay, let's now go back to.
I don't think it was that long.
Huh?
I don't think it was that long.
It was not?
No.
Okay, thank you.
So just to use selector.
Okay. Let's go back to header.js. From. And we need to import that from React Redux. React-Redux. React-Redux. And honestly, that's pretty much it. React-Redux. We've imported that. That's all we now need at this point. Okay. Let me see. Make sure it's all good here. React Redux, use selector. Import that. let's actually now use that, right? So we need use selector. Let's go ahead and use that. So we're going to grab the username. So const user name is equal to use selector. Use selector. And which one are you going to use? Well, select username right here. So select username right there. Beautiful. And then simply const user photo is equal to use selector. No.
Yeah, so maybe on line 8.
Yeah, thank you, Jesse. Use selector.
Awesome.
Okay. We'll do select user photo. Beautiful. Select user photo. That's exactly what we need. And now at this point, a few things are going to happen. So let's think about this. If we don't have basically like the, if we don't have the user, basically then we, show the login button. And we can do that inside the nav menu. So after the logo, let's think about it like this. I'm going to create an if else statement. So basically, if there is no username, this one, if there is no username, right? If it does not exist, then we will go ahead and show the login button. So I'm going to say login. That's it, right? Login right here. And I'm going to say login, right? That's going to be a stock component that we'll create. Otherwise, we'll show the nav menu. Ooh. This one. And the user image, actually. I feel like those two things are important. Okay. Otherwise, we'll show the user menu and the login. So to make that happen, we need to make it, again, we need to use this called anonymous tag like this. Right? Boom. Right? So we need to put in the user image right there, and then the menu inside there. So we had the nav menu in here, user image in here, of course, right? To make it fully work, of course, we can't do that. So we have to do like this. So we have to do parentheses, close parentheses, right there. Then open parentheses. Oh shit, hold on, that's not right. That's not right. Question mark. So again, if this is true, we do this. Otherwise, we do this whole thing. Understand? That's all that happens. That's it. Okay. So now let's go ahead and try this out. I'm going to save this. Let's go to our app. It says login is not defined. Exactly perfect. It's exactly what we need to do. So let's go to our login button. So we'll say const login is equal to basically a const login is equal to style dash. We'll make it a I want to say let's just say a div for now. Okay. A div. Okay. Right there, there's login button right there. You see, perfect. All right. All right. So at this point, to make this fully work, what we'll do is the following. So let's go ahead and do that. Login button, we'll give it a border radius. Let's think about this. Where's our login button? Oh, it has like a border. So let's give it a border initially. So we'll have border 1 pixel solid. Looks a little bit like this. Border 1 pixel solid. Good. Let's think about this. Put it here. Border 1 pixel solid. Beautiful. All right. Then within that, we're going to, let's see, border. Then let's go ahead and give it some padding. So padding, 8 pixels, right? 16 pixels. So 16 pixels on the left and right hand side. Save that. Beautiful. Now it's a little bit bigger button, which is exactly what I like. All right. Right. So we stretch it out. Let's give it a border radius now. Border dash radius. Radius right here. Okay. Border dash radius. Beautiful. All right. That's going to be border radius of 4 pixels. 4 pixels. I like that. So much better. All right, we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and do letter spacing. So maybe fix the letter spacing a little bit. Spacing, right? 1.5 pixels. Okay, just make it a little bit bigger. And let's do text transform uppercase to make sure it's all uppercase. Text transform right here, right there, uppercase. Bro, good. All right, beautiful, nice. Then we need to give it a background color. So let's give it a background color, a little bit more of a darker side, but a transparent background color. So let's try that right here. Voila. Okay, so it's a little darker background color. Okay, awesome. Next thing, on the hover of this button of this div, right? So let's do the hover. So we'll say hover right here. So on the hover, what are we going to do? Well, let's think about this, right? On the hover, we're changing kind of like number 1 to white. So we're kind of flipping the black to white, white to black, right? So let's try that right now. Okay, hover. Let's change the background color. Background color. It's going to be more of a whiter color. So it's going to look a little bit like this. Awesome. And then the color of the actual text is going to be now black. So let's see. Black. Okay. All right, and then border color is gonna be transparent as well. So border color, border dash color will be transparent. Rent be transparent. There we go. So let's go ahead and hover this. Oh, let's go, beautiful. But we're not done yet because let's give it a small transition. So we'll do a transition here. Transition all 0.2 seconds right here. Now, oh, let's go, beautiful. Let's also give a cursor pointer. Cursor pointer, nice. Oh, look at that, beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Now, of course, so we had the login. Now, how do we make sure that this login is kind of all the way on the left / the right hand side? That's actually a good question. How do we make sure we do that? How do we make sure that the login is all the way on the left and the right hand side? What do you guys think? Because if you think about this, right, the login is here, right? And we have the logo here, right? Is there anything we can do, for example, with, I don't know, with the nav? What should we do? What do you guys think we can do? Well, here's my thoughts on this. I think we should create a login container here. A container here, login container, right here, like this. Here's why. I can put the login inside here, no problem whatsoever, right? But the login container, look what I'll do is I will go ahead and actually basically give it a flex of 1. That's the cool part as well, do, right? Let's go ahead and create a login container underneath this one. So we'll say, okay, const login container style.div. Okay, check out this. Flex 1. Flex 1. Right? No, okay, I know. Don't worry about this. So here's what we'll do, right? It's trashed out the whole div. That's okay. So here's what we'll do now. Display flex. Flex. Okay, you see? And then we'll do what? Justify content. Check this out. Justify content center or flex end. Justify content. What? Flex end. Boom, right there. You see, login now shifts right to the right hand side, which is exactly what we need, which is right here, right there. See, just I'm too good. So there we go. We got that portion right there. Sorry. That's how fun, you know. I was proud of that. That was pretty cool. I did on the fly, you know. So okay, so the login button is right there. Okay, now what needs to happen is we need to go ahead on the click of this button. We need to log ourselves in, right? Now, how does that work out? Well, this gets a little bit more tougher, guys. All right, so let's try this. Let's go ahead and create a sign in function. So we'll do const sign in right here is equal to a function, right? And this is where Firebase really plays a big role here, okay, on the sign-in function. Well, we need to import auth here, so let's go ahead and do that. So this is where really we're gonna use a lot of, you know, what is this? React find render compatibility with type. I don't need that right here. right? So let's go and import. We're going to use auth. So import auth, comma, provider from Firebase, right? From what? Firebase, right there. Boom. Okay. Oh, not auth. Okay. Import that from Firebase. Okay. Now, when we sign in, the way it works is very simple. I click on something, and I will call a function that will sign me in, basically. So to make that happen, I will say here auth dot sign in with pop-up. Sign in. How do we do cleanly? Sign in with this is what right there. Sign in with pop-up, and the pop-up. So basically, it's going to pop up something. What provider, right? Well, we said in Firebase we're going to use the Google provider. So we'll say provider here. Provider, beautiful, and then dot then. So when we sign ourselves in and it's successful, we say we get the result. And then what result do we get? Well, let's take a look at what we get here back. Okay, we get a result, and we actually, let's go ahead and console log the result for now. Console the log result. Okay, boom, save that. Console the log result, and of course we need to make that happen when you do onclick on here. So onclick is equal to what? And we'll give it the function, the sign in function. So sign in function. Okay, so let's try that now. So we have that portion done. Let's click login. Oh, would you look at that? How cool is that, huh, guys? Holy moly, right? You click login, pops up a button, click Kazi Clever Programmer, right? And let's see what we get back. Inspect them on this one. What do we get back here? Let's go to console. Blah, blah, blah. We get an object actually here. Look at this. And this object has a user object. Let me show it to you so you guys can see it better. Right there. We have a user object right here. Right there, see? And the user object has a lot of stuff, including some IDs. But the coolest thing it has is right here. Display name, email, and there's a photo one here too. Photo URL. You see? So we can actually use that fully. We can fully use that to grab that data. Let's try it. Okay, let's try it. Okay, let's go back to here. Okay, let's go back to here. All right, we have the specific portion. All right, so now let's go ahead and actually set the user data. So we'll do, of course, console.log.user, console.log user, but a few things we need to do. Console.log, no user is fine. This is when we need to set the data in the Redux. To set the data in the Redux, to set all this username and photo and stuff like that, of course, we need to grab this from the user slice right here, right? Because we need to grab the what? The set user login. So let's grab that right now. Set user login. Let's go ahead and grab that. Go back to our header.js. Let's grab that from the user slice. Boom, right there. Okay. Okay. And then let's go ahead and you need to dispatch it as well. So let's go ahead and dispatch it too. So that means we need to import dispatch. That means we need to import use right here. Use dispatch, comma, with use selector as well. And we need to use the dispatch. So const dispatch is equal to what? Use dispatch. Use dispatch. Okay. Use dispatch. And then after that, once we imported dispatch, let's actually dispatch it. So here we'll do dispatch right there, right? Dispatch what? Well, what? We dispatch the set user login. Set what? User login with what data? With data, right? So we did dispatch set user login with some data. But what data are we going to actually give it? Well, that's going to be up to us to figure it out, right? Let's do that right now. Boom, 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 boom. We have name is equal to what? Let's do this right here. Say let user is equal to result.user, right? Remember, we got that from where? From here, you see? Right there, right there. So user, result.user is this right here specifically. Boom, okay? So now we do set user login, okay? And we say it's gonna be name is equal to user.display name. Boom. Again, coming directly from the data here. Display name right here. You see? Next up, email. Okay. User dot what? User dot email. Okay. Next up is gonna be photo. So photo. Okay. User dot what? Photo URL, which is coming directly from where? From here. Right there. Photo URL. Right there. So you see, there's a reason for everything that we're doing. Okay. Boom. So now if I sign in, if I click sign in again, technically, I should have the nav menu appear in here. Technically. Okay. Let's go ahead and try that out. So let's go ahead and see sign in. All right. So I should really kind of like, so what's going to happen is it's going to dispatch the user login. That's going to save it inside the global state. Once it saves in the global state, that means this will be right here updated automatically. And once this is updated, you see, this becomes what? Not truthy, but falsy. And so it's going to show us the nav menu. That is it. Let's go and try this out, okay? All right. Let's go and click login. Boom. Kazi. Oh, did you guys pay attention to that? Did you guys pay attention to this? Look, it just showed up. Oh, let's go. It's so good. Give me a round of applause, everybody. Anybody? Or am I just applauding for myself? That's fine too. That's fine too. Yeah, there you go. Right. So we got that portion working. That's all great. It makes me really happy. And honestly, that is it. That is it. Okay. And once we have this, let's go ahead and focus on the sign out feature. So we need to be able to sign out as well, right? And the sign out happens when I click on what? When I click on this right here. When I click on this, I should technically sign out. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So create a sign out function. So we have const sign in, const sign out is equal to right here. Right there, it's always equals to a function. All right. And what's going to happen here is, of course, we will sign the user out. And to do that, we'll do auth dot sign out, like so, right? And once that's successful, we'll say dot then function will dispatch a functionality. We'll dispatch, and it will dispatch what? Well, user slice. Dispatch set sign out, right? That's the functionality we need to use. That means we need to import it, set sign out. Okay, save that. Beautiful. All right, that's all good. Set sign out. So dispatch set sign out functionality. And honestly, that is it, my friends. And one small thing we can do is once you sign out, all we have to do at this point is just simply redirect you back to the login page. So let's try that right now. Now to do that, we need to use something called history. So we'll use here import use history. Look, use history. This is part of React Router DOM. History from React-Router-DOM. And the way you use it is like this, right? I'm going to say const history is equal to use history. Beautiful. And all I do at this point is I say this, history.push. So basically, after all is said and done, I just do history.push. That's it, my friends. Let me see, where is it? Right there. Here, I do history.push, basically. And I push to the login page. So we'll say login. That's it. Login page. So if I sign out, now we need to, of course, we need to go ahead and click on sign out. So let's go ahead and do on click on the user image. So on the click of the user image, we'll sign out the user. So on click, right there, we're going to sign out the user. That is it. On the click of the user image. All right, save this. So we have sign in, sign out. That's all good. Okay, let's try this now. You guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for this? All right. Boom. It's time to get a round of applause. Yay. Yay. I'm pausing myself again. Dang it. Okay. So log in. All right. Kazi, clever programmer. All right, beautiful. That's exactly what we just got, right? So, okay, now of course we logged in. Now, and what we can do is after you sign in, right? We can also, after you sign in, we can also dispatch you to a different page. So let's go ahead and do this. So we'll say history.push. Push what? Push to where? To the home page, right? That's it. There we go. So if let's go ahead and sign out again. Okay, I did that. That's fine, right? Let's do history.push to the home page, which is this one. Log in. Kazi, clever programmer. Boom! Oh, look at that, you guys. That's so awesome. So look at that. And then I click sign out again. Oh my God, it's too good. And then Kazi, clever programmer. Hey, let's go. So there is one issue here, however, and it's the fact that, for example, you see if I refresh this, basically the user is gone. That's the issue here. And we can actually kind of fix that by setting the user whenever we kind of like on the header. So the way to fix that is very simple. And again, the reason why this happens is because the state is gone. The state is gone once I refresh the page. The state is gone. That's it. Sayonara. Bye-bye, baby. That's it. We're done. Right? So to fix it, we're going to use auth on state changed, right? And we're going to use effect with this one too. So look at this. We'll say use effect right here. I'm going to say auth on state changed. So we'll say use effect right there. Okay. We'll say basically on the change of, let me see, when you first log into the page right here, when you first log in, we'll do the following. We'll do auth dot on auth state changed. Okay, be async. We're gonna grab the user, and basically it's gonna be really simple, right? All that happens here is the user exists right there, right? Because here's the thing, Firebase remembers the user in cookies, in a cookie, and so that's where we get this right here, right? It remembers the user in the cookie, and so we say if user, then we do what? Then we do dispatch like this, set user login again, dispatch set user login again, and then we do history.push homepage. Down. There we go. Oh, this is more important right there. Boom. That's it. There we go. So you see, let's think about it. If I refresh now, you see the user is actually being set right there. You see, when I refresh it, you see right here, the user is being set. If I sign out, I sign back again. Kazi Clever Programmer. Let's go. Let's go to here. Oh, look at that. Guys, that, my friends, is pretty much it. We have finished with all the functionality we wanted to get done in Disney Plus Clone. You can, my friends, you can sign out. You can sign in. Anything you can do pretty much. So sign out, log in, right? Kazi, Clever Programmer, beautiful, right there. Click on the visual movie, watch the movie, go back. Oh, so good. Let's go. Yay. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. We have one last thing to do that we're going to try right now is we're going to try and deploy it actually as, well, I think it's actually deployed. It's deployed on our side. If you want to go ahead and actually deploy it on your side, if you want to try it out, because on our side it's actually deployed already. So if you want to deploy it, it's not that hard. If you want to deploy it, just go ahead and, let me see. Let me show it to you on your side. Deploy it, right? Do Firebase deploy. right? With React, right here, right? Find that right here. There's a really simple explanation on how to deploy a Firebase application, right? You can do Firebase login, Firebase init, do hosting. That's all you have to do, right? From that point on, all you have to do is when it says where is it? It's like the default Firebase project for this directory. You select your project you created. After that, you do Firebase deploy, and honestly, that's pretty much it. All right, that's all you got to do. So yeah, that's how you deploy it. But other than that, guys, that's it. We are done. We have our app fully built. Let's go ahead and log in yet again here. Kazi Clever Programmer. So who's still with me? Who actually was able to kind of finish it with me? Was anybody able to finish it partially with me? Anybody here? Anybody? No? Anybody? Or you get? Oh, Juliana, you did? Let's go, Juliana. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So, guys, to those of you who are on YouTube, let me go and bring you guys up. On YouTube, I see so many comments. It's insane. So many comments. Whoa, 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 whoa. Awesome. Thank you so much for the amazing support. I see all you guys on YouTube right now. Holy moly, we got a great crowd there. Great crowd there. Hello, 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 hello. Thank you so much, guys. That is it from us. Very important. I want to let you guys know. Okay, we went ahead and we just opened up cart for profit with JavaScript. Okay, we just opened the cart and we've actually lowered the price just for today. Okay, just for today for profit with JavaScript. So if you're interested in joining, okay, we have a one-time deal literally happening right now, and the price goes up in a little bit. Okay. If you're interested, we have a link down in the description. We went ahead and we just opened it up. Link down in the description. If you're interested, go ahead and join. This is for people who want to become serious. This is for people who want to become developers. If any one of you here want to become a ReactJS developer, if you want to be a JavaScript developer, if you want to be a full stack developer, right? This is the program that we have here with over 2,000 students. We have students who are basically, for example, Jen, she got a job making $96,000 at her new job. We have, for example, Rishi got a ReactJS developer job making $55K, right, after joining our program. We have, for example, Frank, he got a ReactJS contract for $150,000. We have, for example, Kelvin got a ReactJS job making $60K, right, in 1 year. So the list goes on and on and on and on. And for those of you who are interested, yes, you on YouTube, if you're interested, we have the link down below. It is very just for right now. The price goes up very soon. Okay, so I highly recommend you join in while you can, because the price almost never goes down to this price point. Never. And I say it because we value our product so much and we love to keep the community the way it is. So if you're interested, go ahead and join below. Link is down in the description below. Okay, guys? Other than that, that is pretty much from me on YouTube. Let me see. Do I have the link in the description? I think I have the link in the description. I'm on to. Do you have the link in the description? Thank you. Awesome. Guys, that is it from me, guys. Other than that, hope you guys have an amazing day. Hopefully you were able to follow along with me. Hopefully you were able to follow along me. Out of that, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. Oh, it's so good. Oh my god. So good. So good. No. Tacos are so the best. I'm so hungry by the way. Oh yeah. So good.